Let's look at how this problem answers the question. We've done a physical count on December 31st, and we determined that the ending inventory needs to be 348. So what we have to do is get rid of the beginning balance of inventory and replace it with the physical counted amount. Think about this. We are eliminating by crediting the beginning balance of inventory. The 111 balance of inventory, we are getting rid of it. Let's see how this looks. So if we do inventory and we look at inventory on a T account, we started out with a beginning balance of inventory of $150,000. We now said that the ending balance in inventory needs to be $348,000. So what we got to do is get rid of this 150 this way by crediting it, and that's what they're doing here. And then we need to debit it for 348. And that's what they're doing here. Remember, the purchase account in the periodic method is recording all inventory purchases. All right? So right now what we've done is we've eliminated the beginning balance with a credit, and then we debited the inventory balance of 348 with the periodic method. All right? So the two journal entries that are done based on a periodic method, based on a physical count, is to debit cost of goods sold for the total of the credit to the beginning balance of inventory and the credit to purchases. Now remember, purchases is an asset account. It's one of the current asset accounts that'll be listed because it's recording our purchases. It's getting closed out with an adjusting entry that is now reducing it because we're putting it in the cost of items that were sold. All right? So we are now crediting purchases for $800, crediting inventory, the beginning balance of inventory for $800, and debiting cost of goods sold. Similarly, as I mentioned earlier in this example, we are going to debit inventory for $348,000 based on our physical count, and we're going to credit cost of goods sold. Now let's look at what happens to cost of goods sold. We got an increase to it as an expense of $950. We got a corresponding decrease to it by ending inventory. This leads us into our next section on how cost of goods sold is calculated. Back in a moment.